The only thing worse than not having the time to sleep is having the time and you still simply can't. So in this video, we'll be talking about this all too common problem and how changing our mindset may be the key to getting the sleep that we need. So I've struggled with falling asleep ever since I was a little kid. I would just lay in bed and just kind of hope sleep would come. And of course, being that way would make it so much harder. And I kind of still do that sometimes, but it's gotten a lot better for some things I'm about to share with you also. Let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that we're going to talk about in this kind of mindset shift is not to try to sleep. Because the harder you try, the more effort that you put into it, especially when it comes to sleep, the further you get from sleep. Sleep is one of the few things where you don't need to try. You don't need to do anything. It's not like there's some sleep button or something that you have to do to make sleep happen. Sleep happens in an entirely opposite kind of way, where you just let go and the next thing you know, you're awake. You have nothing to do with it. It's a natural process all on its own. So when you're kind of hyper fixated on falling asleep, it's like you're almost putting effort into the action and wondering, why am I not asleep yet? That stress and that anxious thought is actually keeping you awake. So there's this idea of the backwards law, where the more effort you put in takes you further away from what you want. And that's precisely the case here with sleep and our effort. All right, so the next point, the one that really connected the dots for me on getting a good night's sleep, is, drum roll, not caring, being indifferent to getting good night's sleep. So you're here, you're watching a YouTube video to try to get better sleep. So of course you care about your sleep, and you should care about your sleep. But try this. What if you just had the mindset of, I might sleep good tonight, I might not. You know, I might feel like crap tomorrow, but hey, I'm gonna go through my day and do everything that I need to do. You know what? I might not get a good night's sleep the rest of my life, whatever. And having that kind of indifference mindset and just not caring can really help, because things that we care about, things that we are, we truly want to do well, we worry about it. We think about it often. We get anxious about it. And sleep, as we know, comes in the opposite way. So over time, if you have this kind of relationship or develop this relationship of, I might get a good night's sleep, I might not, and kind of think to yourself, what's going to happen? What's the worst thing that could happen if I didn't get a good night's sleep tonight? You'll be tired tomorrow. And so if you kind of just accept that reality, no longer charging or fueling these anxious thoughts because you are more indifferent in accepting these possible outcomes, sleep is much more likely to come. Now that said, tonight when you try to apply this technique and you're like, okay, I don't care, be careful, because then you are putting in effort again. It may take some time, couple days, couple weeks, that kind of just get this mindset of just, whatever, I don't give a shit anymore. And once you do get there, you'll get what you want. All right, so we went over the two mental aspects or mindset shifts we can work on, and now we will get into some more practical tips. So the first thing is understanding what's called a sleep drive, which basically means that just the longer that you're awake, the more tired you're gonna be. Problem is that when we are laying in bed all night and say we didn't sleep, but then that day we kind of slug around and maybe we lay down a bit because we're tired and we try to take a nap or two. And because even though we may not be sleeping, because we're resting, this can affect our sleep drive, and this can affect our body's ability to go to sleep again that night. So keep that in mind. Even though you're not getting a good night's sleep, that doesn't mean you should just lay around all day, because that can affect your sleep drive and your ability to go to sleep that night. The next thing is exercise. Exercise is always a great way to release energy in the body and help you get better quality of sleep at night. Another important thing is to have a kind of wind down or evening ritual to help you get into a relaxed state so sleep is easier. So maybe that's limiting your phone, putting a blue light filter on your phone, reading a book, have a cup of hot tea, soothing music, just a routine that you have every night so that your body knows that, hey, it's time to start winding down, it's time to start getting relaxed, that kind of thing. And the other thing is, of course, just to keep this in mind, the harder we try, the less likely sleep is to come. And then, of course, the less we care, the less we are likely to try. And both of those can affect our sleep. So I hope you got a little bit out of this video. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a good night's sleep.